Come along with me to the Naval Aviation Museum in Pensacola. This photo is of one of the Blue Angels planes that's on display outside of the museum. We didn't spend much time outside because it was relatively hot that day. This is one of the first things we came across in the museum. Just a comparison of two aircraft carriers from different generations. You can already see how much bigger the modern one is in this picture. And that's the two of them side by side. There is a then and now comparison down here. I didn't really take a picture of it, a very good picture of it, but it kind of tells the difference. But you can really see just how much bigger a modern aircraft carrier is to the one that would have been used in earlier days. I gotta shrink it. This is a seaplane. I got mildly obsessed with these when Blippi talked about them a lot, so that's why I took a picture of this seaplane. This would have been in a World War II era. This sign was on the outside of one of the planes. It says, "Warning, the pilot's seat in this airplane is loaded with an explosive cartridge. For operation and maintenance, see flight manual and maintenance instruction manual." And I believe, if I remember, the airplane is loaded with an explosive cartridge to help evacuate a pilot if needed. This is a really cool painting that was on display on one of the ramps in the museum. It's designed using a perspective optical illusion. So if you come from this side of the plane, it looks like you're on one side of the ship. But if you come from the other side, it looks like you're on a completely different side of the ship, which is really cool. I don't understand the science behind it, but it is commonly used. One of the parts of the museum talked about, of course, nuclear weapons. It's a big part of World War II. So this kind of shows what Hiroshima would have looked like compared to Nagasaki, and then some of the test bombs that have been done, and how much bigger those clouds are, how much bigger the reactions are since the first atomic weapon. I also sat in an airplane seat, in a pilot seat, and tried out the seat belt. It was a little bit unusual, but kind of cool to get to try it on. There was correct me if I'm wrong, a Corvette that was done in Blue Angels colors that they had on display. It's also a raffle right now, which was kind of cool. Of course, they have Blue Angels planes in the museum. I took pictures of them from so many different angles. I really have enjoyed learning about the Blue Angels during my time in Pensacola. This is one of my favorite plane designs. It looks like a shark. It's called the Tiger, I believe, it does have a tiger on it, you can see right there. This was on a plane that was not a Army plane. It was that 4F3 Wildcat, which was, sorry, I gotta read to remember. It was a service plane, so it was to help other aircraft. So that's why this plane was also very colorful, which I don't think I took a picture of the whole plane, but that's what it was for. This is inside one of the planes. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 seats in it. But this plane can actually support up to 15 occupants. So some people weren't in seats. The Red Ripper plane, I was really paying more attention to the logos, if I'm being honest. Felix the cat with a bomb on another plane. Navy plane. This actually has nothing to do with the Navy. This was this was the capsule for one of the space stations, one of the earlier space stations. And I am obsessed with space. This would have been the part of the blimp type aircraft where people would have operated it. This was called the Snowbird. This was a painting on the floor of a landing strip, which I like floor design, so I took a picture of that, as well as the landing pattern, how they would fly through to land the plane on an aircraft carrier, which we'll zoom in on that photo. That's what that looks like. This was one of the mirror systems. You can actually kind of see my reflection as well as my reflection of one of my parents. This is how they would have landed the plane so they could see in different angles. And it's just a Navy helicopter. This is from the second floor looking down on the exhibits in the first floor. I just thought this was funny. If your parachute fails to open, return same and we will give you a new one. Obviously the joke behind that is if your parachute fails to open, you're probably not surviving. Singer sewing machine, what they use to fix up. This was in an exhibit about like what life would have been like on an aircraft carrier. This was another cute exhibit. It was a dog. He's wearing an eye patch and it says, "Home of Lucky the Marine War Dog. Do not give dog whiskey. He only likes beer." So this is our dog. Just some things in the home front during World War II, what you might have found in the shop. Some dolls, some comics, some games, playtime dolls, action for American youth. Again, a top angle of the car, which is really cool. I really like the colors of that. Some comic books that would have been popular in the time period. More ships from up above, from the second floor angle. And more Navy ships, more Navy planes, Blue Angels planes, because again, I think they're super cool. So yeah, that was my trip to the Naval Air Museum. If you've ever been, let me know, what did you like when you went on your trip to the museum?